Hello everybody, welcome back to Planet X News. It is August 18th, 2023. Yes folks, my speech still messed up, but as a lot of you know from my community post on my YouTube channel yesterday, or actually the day before, my doctor had ordered an MRI and a CAT scan because of this very severe pain that I'm having right behind my ear in that mastoid bone, and it is quite painful. It's not constant, but whenever it does occur, it is like, you know, whenever you eat something very, very cold and you get that brain freeze. Well, times that by 10, and then it radiates up the back of my skull and right over the top of my ear in my skull towards my right eye. I got about 60% of the movement back in my right eye, this Bell palsy, and got full movement of my tongue, but I still can't feel my teeth on the top and bottom, and half of my lips are numb. So it's like coming from the dentist. It impairs my speech, as you could hear. So, you know, I complained to my doctor a few days ago, and I said, please, something has to be wrong, and blah, blah, blah. So she ordered me this CAT scan and the MRI, and I went yesterday for it, and I thought I would be in good condition after I was done to come back home and do a premiere video and tell you guys about it. Well, that did not go as planned. So my local hospital has a huge imaging facility attached to the hospital where they have all of this equipment, MRIs, things like that. So, went up there in the morning and got myself clocked in. And lo and behold, a good friend of mine, Salvador, he was the actual MRI technician, which made me kind of feel a little bit better. The only other time I had an MRI is when I had to have my shoulder repaired from a rotator cuff injury. And that was absolutely terrible. That was a terrible experience. But anyways, it turned out this one in the MRI, once again, was a terrible experience. And I'll get into that. The CAT scan was pretty simple. I was kind of in and out of there. And they gave me about 30 minutes between going down for the MRI. Then they got me all prepped for the MRI and had me on that table, and I was talking to Salvador, and he said, look, Scott, he goes, with these head scans, he goes, you can't move. He goes, the more you move, the longer it's going to take. And I said, yeah, no problem, man. I'm relaxed. I'm cool. So they, shoved me halfway in there, and they put this, I don't know, this contraption over my head. It's some type of half arch type cage. That kind of got me stirring. I could actually feel my heart beating a little faster. But once they shoved me in there, and Salvador was able to talk to me through a microphone, and I could hear him inside of the MRI, and they could hear me. And he said that they were going to go ahead and start the procedure. So I'm waiting, and then you hear, I don't know if it's the magnets spinning or these gradient coils. I just put up this little picture schematic to show you, the inner workings of this MRI machine, because something very weird started to occur every time they, I guess, were taking the snapshot. And immediately whenever I could hear the machine start to, I don't know, either spin or whatever starts to occur when they're taking that image, all of a sudden on the right side of my head, which is where I'm having that pain, all of a sudden I would get this increased pain, and it felt like something was like being pulled out of my freaking head. It hurt so bad that I was literally in there screaming, and then they would stop. And then, Sal would come over the microphone or the speaker, and he would say, "Scott, what's wrong? You're moving. We're going to have to take this image again. What's wrong?" And I said, "I don't know. Whenever the machine or the process started, I got a real bad pain in my head." He goes, "Okay, well, let's try this again." Well, they tried it again, and I got the same identical pain and pulling sensation, like it was trying to pull something out of my head. And again, we went through this, I don't know, 10-15 times, and he said, "Look, Scott, we're going to go ahead and pull you out of there." And then he came out of, I guess, the control room, and there was another nurse and technician there, and he said, "Look," he goes, "have you ever had Valium before?" And I said, "Oh, hell no." I said, I don't take any pills like that." And he says, "Well, look, we're gonna have to give you a sedative to relax you, and you're moving too much. If you keep on moving, we're not going to be able to complete this." And I said, "Oh man, do you really have to give me something like that?" And he goes, "Well, that's the only alternative." So they gave me this little tiny pill. They let me lay there on the table. I don't know, about maybe 20 minutes went by, and all of a sudden, I could feel my eyes getting, real droopy. And then they came in and they strapped my freaking head down. And I mean, they strapped it down so I could not move it. They shoved me in, and I think I went out. Like, I think I went unconscious, because the next thing I know, I woke up in a recovery room with an IV in me. And that kind of freaked me out, because I got like the sense that they operated on me or something. But in fact, they moved me into the recovery to let the sedative, whatever the hell they gave me, I think it was the Valium, they let it, I guess, wear off. And I came to, and there was a nurse nearby, and I started asking her what the hell's going on, where am I, what happened. And she came over, and she was very nice, and she talked to me. And then Sal came out, and he says, "Hey man," he goes, "you did real good this time." And I said, "Wow, man," I said, "I can't even see you clearly. My vision was all blurry." And then he asked me, he says, "Look," and he goes, "in about 30 minutes, he goes, you'll be able to go ahead and go home. Did somebody come with you?" And I said, "No, man, I drove myself here." He goes, "Oh, okay, well, in that case, you're probably going to be here for maybe over an hour till you're coherent enough to drive." And I said, "Oh, okay." So anyways, I must have conked back out. And by the time I like woke back up, and they gave me some juice and got me up on my feet, and I kind of felt, pretty good. And then, got my car and started driving home. I got about halfway home, and boom, I got that real sharp pain again, in the side of my head. And I think it's been messing with my vision because the vision in my right eye is a little blurry. You know, if I close my left eye and look at something or try to read something, I'm kind of seeing like double, a little blurry. You know, so that was that. And whenever I got home, I was going to go ahead and, you know, do a video about this and talk to you guys about it. But I don't know, man. I was so stressed out because as soon as I got home, I stopped by and got my mail, and lo and behold, my damn health insurance company. I pay my health insurance quarterly, and you know, just like everything else, folks, you know, the bill's coming due, my quarterly payment, and it ain't freaking cheap. But you know, I do have a very good health insurance plan. It includes eye and dental and all that good stuff. So that quarterly payment's due in 2 weeks. I got to get my ass back to work. That's one of my biggest problems right now, you know. But besides all of that, I guess I'll get the test results back. I communicate with my health insurance company and my doctors through a dashboard, which is pretty cool, you know, because I could message them. I could see test results, all this good stuff. It's like all on a dashboard, and you could also request a video conference with your doctor. So I'll be able to see the test results, but I'll also have a video conference with my doctor to go over the results. I'm hoping the hell that there's nothing wrong inside of my head other than this Bell's palsy and you know, the inflamed facial nerve that basically runs, you know, the whole right side or left side of your face. So, you know, my doctor said it was pretty good progress, that how quickly I was able to regain most of the movement in my eye, a little bit of crinkling in my forehead muscle, and totally regain the movement of my tongue, because I could actually move my tongue all the way over to the right side, and I got full movement of it, which is, it's actually made eating a little bit easier. But when you can't feel your lips, you tend to stab yourself in the mouth with a fork, you know. So I started using a spoon no matter what. But you know, I'm trying to make a little light of this because this is a horrible thing to go through. I want to go ahead and touch on something real quick. I want to get into these Maui fires and what I've been digging up. I got to be very careful what I talk about with that subject. But as far as all of you who have once again donated to help me and Dr. Elvers out in this trying time, because I'm telling you right now, folks, straight from my heart, if it wasn't for all of you, we would be looking at some very, very trying times. You know, I don't know about your electric company, but mine, West Penn Power, as soon as you are 1 month late, they start to threaten to shut your electricity off. Now, they can't do it in the winter time, but summertime, oh yeah, you know. So I'd already gotten one of those messages, you know, in my email, because I have that all connected. And listen, all of you folks have literally helped to keep the lights on, a roof over our head, food on the table, naturally the internet connection that I'm communicating with all of you right now. You have all helped tremendously. Once again, the messages, the emails that I've received have really humbled me Extremely. I'm a pretty hardcore character, folks. But, like I said the last time, you guys are bringing out this soft side of me that, you know, hell, I haven't seen that, you know, since my kids were born, you know. And I really appreciate it, and I don't know how to ever repay all of you except for continuing to dig for the proof and the truth, what's out there, what's being hidden from all of us, the games that the government plays. You know the routine. You know how it goes. So, once again, you know, thank you very, very much. I need to get my ass back to work, but I'm not going to be able to get back until I regain the full movement of my eye. That is the problem. Got an email from my employer. Like I told you guys last week, they were giving me 2 weeks to get back to work. I'm still on a probationary period with this company. And I do not have that FMLA, that family medical leave, because I'm still in the probationary period. And look, they're a very large company. I'm new there. I'm nobody special. They've been pretty decent with me so far. So I got a week. I got a week from today to get better. I have to go to their occupational doctor to have a physical before I can be released to go back to work. I have to pass that physical, which is going to involve, you know, the hearing test, an eye test. It's an occupational physical. So, if not, you know, in the email they said that they would have no choice but to replace me. I did put a call into the lady in the HR to ask what that specifically means. Are you going to fire me, you know, relieve me of my duties? Or are you just going to put me on the back burner and put somebody in my position until I get better? I did leave her a message. She hasn't returned my call. I did send her an email. She hasn't returned my email, so I don't know. We'll see what transpires with that. But again, I wanted to thank all of you, you know, for these donations, for helping me stay afloat. It's been a tremendous help, because I don't know what the hell I would have done. You know, one person suggested go get on like state assistance. Listen, I'm the wrong person for what would be referred to as welfare. I don't have minor small children. I'm the wrong person for that. And I don't know. You know, we'll see what happens. But I'm going to go ahead and jump out of this, and I want to show you guys something. And I posted this picture. We're going to get into this Maui stuff. Remember when a few years back they had that Las Vegas shooting, which was terrible? Another big conspiracy. I got to watch what I say, folks. I really got to watch what I say. But anyways, the lead chief investigator was this guy. I think his name's John Pelletier or something like that. That's him right there. Las Vegas shooting lead investigator. Now, coincidentally, his hair's gotten grayer. His hairline's receded a little bit more. And now he's the Maui police chief. How often in a lifetime does one man or woman go through one major, publicly tragic situation, let alone two. I mean, that is a massive coincidence, if you ask me. So, let me get a drink of my coffee here, wet this whistle. Still having a hard time drinking things. I should get a bib. Oh boy. So, I posted this picture on my Twitter account a couple days ago. And wow, it went through like a firestorm. And I think I lit the fire, and I hate to, no pun intended, with the Maui fires. But all of a sudden yesterday, when I woke up from this long nap after that MRI, all I see in my Twitter feed are all of these TikTok videos that have been uploaded to Twitter, and all of these Twitter videos talking about the same thing. This guy in Las Vegas, this guy in Maui, two deadly and tragic situations. I mean, it blew my mind. I mean, it was video after video after video after video. Now, I was tipped off to this. Somebody sent me a message and said, hey, look at this. This is the same guy. It kind of reminds me of those crisis actors, you know. I got to watch using that word too. But, you know, he's a real cop. But the coincidence is just, you know, I don't know. Kind of weird. But, you know, before we go ahead and jump into all of that, here's the other big crazy situation. I posted the other day about how the hurricane season, which is normally on the east coast of the United States in the Atlantic, has been very, very quiet. Well, the hurricane season has kind of moved over to the west coast in the Pacific. And now all of a sudden, there is a wicked, wicked tropical storm that may intensify into a hurricane category 2, category 3, Sunday back to a 1, and then moving into the San Diego, Los Angeles region, maybe back to a tropical storm on Monday. And they're predicting massive amounts of flooding and possible landslides. So, you know, we go from one disaster to the next. And that's very, very odd. I did do a little research on this to see when this situation had occurred before. And it's been a long, long time since anything like this, tropical storms, hurricanes, hitting into the Southern California region. So we're going to be watching this very closely over the entire weekend. I did post some information on the Planet X News Facebook page, and also in that community tab on the Planet X News YouTube channel. And you can see right here, let's see if we could maybe zoom into that a little bit. You can see right here, they're talking about a direct movement right over San Diego and right over LA. So that is definitely going to be a catastrophic situation. You got a lot of homeless people that have moved into San Diego. You have thousands of them in LA, you know, and it's an awful situation. But with rising waters, I mean, they're talking major flooding. We may see a death toll within these two cities that may be significantly high, and there may be a lot of damage. But we will see. Here's another timeline. This has been updated into Monday, but you know, folks, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Before we go ahead, and we're going to jump over to Twitter. But I showed you guys on the community page, I posted some information there, and you guys definitely need to pay attention to what I post there, because it's my quickest, fastest way to get some information to you guys. And with all of the talk, and again, I have to be very careful what I'm saying here, because the boob tube has been I don't want to say censoring, but issuing warnings, demonetizing. When you start getting into conspiracies, when we have these supposed natural disasters. So, one of the conspiracies that popped up, just like it did when the fires in Paradise, California came about, the direct energy weapons. Okay, that was one of the key words that YouTube was not liking, because I guess they considered it a conspiracy. There's no evidence of it, and blah 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 blah. Well, a lot of folks beg to differ, you know. But anyways, as I was poking around at some of the aerial and drone footage of Maui, look, I am no damn dummy. Been around 55 years. I consider myself to be a very smart man. I also do have a very good friend of mine that is a professional firefighter. And just like in Paradise, California, I linked him up some of the video footage, some of the photographs, and I said to him, tell me about this. He was already watching it. He you know, after I tuned him into what happened in Paradise, you know, when this came about, you know, he was already tuned into it. And he said, Scott, he goes, man, he goes, I think it's been done again. And you know exactly what I mean. So there's another catalyst for the precision of these fires. The trees not burning, you know, the melting of metal, how fast it spreads. There has to be a catalyst. We couldn't really put our finger on it. I mean, we did have some thoughts about it, but you know, like for instance, aluminum powder. If you dispersed aluminum powder, say for instance, over the roof of a house, and you ignited it, well, aluminum powder is quite explosive and burns very hot and fast. And we all know that they use aluminum chaff in chemtrail spraying. But then again, the trees would burn, all of them. So, you know, again, that's getting into a little conspiracy type talk. Don't have any evidence of it. You know, I'm not out there taking chemical tests of what's left. But as I did some more poking around, someone had mentioned this Air Force facility on top of the highest mountain peak in Maui. It's called the Air Force Maui Optical and Supercomputing Site. And supposedly, well, not supposedly, but they do have let me get into this other picture here. Where'd I put it? When you drop down in the technology menu, bingo. Now that's called directed energy. But it's supposedly a directed energy telescope. And what it does, it shoots a laser beam into space. And it's quite a large facility. Let me get over here. So we know that's the deal. Here is the facility. You could drive up there, and as you can see, telescope here, telescope there, dome. Well, I don't know what's inside of these damn domes. There's a bunch of them, and then there's this big monster right there. So they do sit at the highest peak. For God's sakes, you can see the clouds. There's mountains right over there, but you can see how high it is. And it does snow up here. In winter, this will be covered with snow. So it tells you how high that elevation is. Are they able to blast a laser beam and maybe clip a satellite or a reflector that is in orbit and deflect it or reflect it back to the surface? I don't know. But, you know, here is this is an actual photograph. This is not a artist's rendition. This is an actual photograph. Clear night. You could see the Milky Way behind. This is obviously taken with a very, very professional camera. You could see the laser beam right there. You could see one of the other domes, probably housing a telescope. But this right here, folks, that doesn't look like no directed energy telescope. Just looks like a damn laser beam. Period. And as I said before, they put everything right in front of you. They always do. Like the old saying goes, they hide it in plain sight. Now, I have no evidence. I have absolutely no proof, but it was just a theory. Because what has happened there in we're going to go to my Twitter page. What has happened there in Maui is it's almost the same identical thing that happened in Paradise, California. And all those questions about Paradise have never been answered. And now we have the situation in Maui. And there are some very, very terrible situations going on there, and the same situations that happened in Paradise, California. There's a little bit of a difference here in Maui where there is a land grab. There are developers that are immediately contacting people who have lost their properties and literally offering to buy them. The governor, the mayor of Hawaii and Maui, they've even mentioned it in news conferences, and it is upsetting the locals. There's all kinds of terrible situations going on there. And it's suspicious. And the way that things happened. Yesterday, as I was going through my Twitter page, I came across this video situation that just happened in Mexico. These farmers, Mexican farmers, who have a corn farm, they raise corn, woke up in the morning to a 500-meter fissure that ripped right through their farm. And I'm going to go ahead and play this. And you could see these. Look at that. And this just happened maybe 48 hours ago. And you could see the one gentleman probably filming with his cell phone, the other gentleman walking out in front of him. And, you know, they see this massive, massive fissure. I mean, that's huge. There were no earthquakes detected in this area. And bingo, here you go. How did this happen? Why did it happen? You know, we see this situation happening periodically in many different areas of the world. There's a situation. There's a situation like this happening in Africa, and it's a hell of a lot bigger than this. And we covered that a few years ago. And obviously, these two guys are quite confused at what is happening. Yeah, so that's wanted to show that to you guys, because I mean that's definitely I don't know, that's very strange. No earthquake, no tons of rain that would cause a situation like this. Two Mexican farmers just wake up, go check their corn crop. They got a 500-meter fissure through the crop. But very, very odd. Very odd. I'm going to scroll down here to some other situations. RT News, they're reporting just about 24 hours ago, Frankfurt Airport in Germany absolutely flooded. Massive amounts of rain just dumped. So they're under a very severe situation there. I'm going to keep on moving down here. And this is a guy, he's talking about the same thing. And this is what I was mentioning earlier when I said I might have tripped off a bunch of people on Twitter and social medias whenever I posted that picture of the the police chief. You know, Las Vegas, Maui, he's in both places. What a coincidence. And I think it caught on, and everybody is talking about it, and they're like really digging into this situation. Some people say, well, what's the big deal? You know, the guy was in Vegas, he was employed there, he was in charge of that tragedy, he retired from Vegas Police Department, went to Maui, became the police chief, and now years later, bingo, you know, he's in the center of it all over again. And this is there you go, they're talking about it right now. I've been studying a lot of the footage. This is in a different location. All of a sudden, this was posted about 7 hours ago. Let's see, I don't know how to pronounce that. Wahiawa. This is, I guess, another area or location or island in Hawaii, and you can see right behind you a pretty nasty blaze. Now, you know, folks, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know if these fires are being intentionally set. There's a lot of situations that are occurring where people are getting caught around the world in different countries setting fires. As I mentioned in my last podcast, that there was a person caught in Italy. They caught him on drone footage on a motorcycle in a mountainous area, setting fires. And those blazes, they ravaged a countryside and a mountainside. So, there was supposedly a small brush fire that had ignited, who knows how. The fire department supposedly put it out, but it was still smoldering. I'm going to go ahead and move down to more of this. These are more residents talking about what's going on. But getting back to the smoldering fire, the fire department supposedly put it out. Hours later, residents said that they saw that particular fire smoldering, and again, they were having the high winds. Some are claiming that the electric company did not shut electrical service off. Power lines broke. They were live. They landed in brush. It caught fire. And that's that. But see, folks, just like what happened in those Canadian fires, and just like Dutch Sense exposed, it was kind of coincidental when Dutch caught all of those fires igniting all at the same time, miles and miles apart. He caught all of that on satellite. So what are the odds of that happening? Yeah, slim to none. Was it a coordinated effort? Were there people in those locations starting those fires? No proof of it, no evidence of it. However, it was seen on satellite. I think the same situation has happened here in Maui, because all of the areas of this island where people lived, they were burned out. Burned out. But all of the rich folks, all of their properties were spared. And this is a guy here. I think we're going to go ahead and listen to this guy real quick. And it says up here that a senior resident from Hawaii is enraged and tells what he thinks is wrong with the whole situation regarding the Haina fires. And supposedly the fire departments didn't have water. Fire hydrants were dry. Water was shut off. People couldn't even use their garden hoses to try to protect their properties. The alarms, the sirens for emergencies, they did not go off. Nobody was informed. You know, folks, when you start to put together all of these points, they look villainous. People like to throw around that word conspiracy. But you know, folks, over these last several years, it doesn't matter what conspiracy has been thrown out there. A lot of them, if not all of them, have come to been proven as truth. Truth. Let's listen to this man.
No more nothing for us anymore in the ocean except sunscreen. So let us get back to our island. We can survive. If the United States government will help us, maybe Japan going to love Hawaii.
Yeah, they gave all of the residents a $700 payment to help them out.
Yeah, $40 billion go to Ukraine. Fucking shit ain't coming to us. What the fuck? My tax-paying money for 60 fucking years don't mean shit. But they're gonna take care of Ukraine, 40 fucking billion. But nobody's still here to take care of us. We're suffering. All this shit we gotta do on our own.
And this guy, as you can see, he's pissed. You know, because they're sending all of this money over to Ukraine, and you know, nobody's really helping them out. They're getting more assistance from the locals. There's even blockades that have been set up where you can't get supplies in by the road. So people on boats have been bringing things into shore in locations where, they're not being stopped. That's awful, man. That's awful. This lady here has posted about 11 hours ago supposed natural wildfires in one of these islands, Spain's Tenerife. I think they also have a volcano there. That doesn't look good either. And it's kind of suspicious too that all of a sudden we have all of these fires starting all at the same time. I don't know, man. They don't seem to be very good at creating their agenda and maintaining it, because they do it all at once, which makes it even more suspicious. This is a Fox News reporter who's on one of their morning shows on Fox, Will Kane, and he has some direct ties to Hawaii, and he has friends and family there. And he's been reporting from his friend's catamaran boat, because he can't get in. They don't allow reporters in. They're blocking everybody from getting in. But people are sending drones in. They're flying drones in from their boats, and they're showing what has happened. And Will Kane has a very good friend in Hawaii who lives in Maui, who owns a very, very large catamaran boat, and that's what he's been on for the last couple of days. And they've been traveling around the shore, and you see all those high-rise buildings, and further back to the left, well, that's where all the mansions are. That's where all the rich folks are, like Oprah Winfrey and all these rich elite. Yeah, all of their homes and all of their properties were completely spared, while all the common residents were burned out. So that's that. That's what's happened there. Let me go ahead and pan down a little bit more. Again, you have a lot of people that are coming up with some information. This guy's talking about there being a videotaping lockdown. He also talks about the tsunami warning sirens that did not go off. And he said, they're loud as hell. They test them all the time, but none of them went off. And nobody was informed about what was transpiring. Filming, again, they blocked everybody. You can't get in. I believe they were also trying to secure some airspace around the area, but that's damn near impossible. This gentleman here, he's complaining quite a bit, and he's calling the governor of Hawaii corrupt, because immediately they were contacting these people to buy their land. And big time developers, the embers are still smoldering, and these big developers are contacting these people, offering them money for their properties. It's terrible. And the things that are going on throughout the world right now, folks, are just absolutely horrible. I'm just panning through this political stuff real quick to get to other things. Another guy, I think this was from Instagram. he's digging in there too. And what he talks about is very, very disturbing. That he's talking about people being found in their skeletal remains still in their cars. The doors closed and the skeletal remains still in the car. So if you think about it, I mean, if you were, I don't know, surrounded by fire, or you're in that situation, would you open the door of your car and try to get out and get away? Because you can't drive no more. You know, the ocean's not that far where you could possibly maybe run to the ocean, because a lot of people jumped in the ocean and stood in waist-high, chest-high water and watched the fire burn while they were in the ocean. There were also burned bodies found in the ocean. There were boats in the ocean that were on fire. How the hell does that happen? So he's talking about a lot of this, and very, very sad situations, because a lot of school was out. There was the majority of children were home, some home alone, some with parents. He describes, I'm not going to play it because he describes some very, very graphic situations that I don't want to take a chance on, being restricted by YouTube. But this video right here, these are all the rich folks. That's all their houses. That's all the mansions. It's all the big wigs, the elite. And then, bingo. Burned out. And it goes on and on and on. It starts going back into the bigger residential areas where just the regular common people live. Look at that. And with this fire, as intense as it was, as hot as it was, melting metal, melting aluminum rims on cars, you're just melting things. And at the speed that this fire burned, the intensity, just literally turning everything into complete ash. Reminiscent, once again, of Paradise, California. Will we ever know the truth, folks? The way that they censor things nowadays, the way that they cover things up, I just don't know. But it is suspicious. There's a lot of suspicious situations out there. This is the same video. There's a lot of suspicious situations out there. And again, we may never know. There were already talks about turning Maui into one of those smart cities where there were no vehicles, one of those 15-minute cities, as they call them. There were a lot of plans for that. But things look very suspicious here. How did this long stretch just all burn? Now, again, they did have the high winds, which were fueling the fire. And if you guys don't know, but when you add oxygen to a fire with intensity like that, intense speed, oxygen does fuel those fires. But to this degree, I don't know. I'm not an expert on that subject, but I'm also no dummy. Like I said, Well, here's what I posted. But like I said, I don't know. Once again, people start digging into The Simpsons. I had to take a sip of my coffee, excuse me. The Simpsons seem to predict everything. And I don't know exactly when this episode of The Simpsons aired, but it's pretty reminiscent of what happened in Paradise and what has happened in Maui. Did you see the beam coming down out of the sky in the beginning of the cartoon video? Everything catching on fire. Yeah. And I don't want to play any of this because I don't want any copyright strikes and blah, blah, blah. But if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, if you don't have a Twitter account, ever since Elon Musk took Twitter over, it's been a lot better than it was before with the censoring and stuff. My Twitter link, I'm pretty sure it's in the description box it will be under this video. Okay? And if you guys want to create a Twitter account, I would advise it. It's better than Facebook. Facebook suspends me and restricts me, I don't know, like every 30 days. Right now I'm under a 90-day restriction where they deboost all of my posts to the bottom. Whatever. But if you want to, jump on Twitter, it's now called X. But, if you still Google Twitter, it will come up and you can make an account and you can go ahead and follow me and I'll follow you back. I no longer put any kind of Planet X stuff on here because when I did, about maybe a month ago, I did a video about it. My longtime Twitter account, they terminated. Boom! Just like that. Said something about hate speech, and they whacked my longtime account right out. This is very interesting here.
Bertolosa.
Let me get over here real quick. This is, let me stop this here.
Seen the line in Saudi Arabia? Well, if you thought that was crazy, then get ready for Tolosa.
Tolosa? This is like one of the chief executives of Walmart who has proposed this $400 billion eco smart city. Wants to name it Tolosa. Well, folks, they're actually seriously planning this. No cars, everything eco-friendly. A massive city. I don't know, man. I think they might have bought the land for it already. But from what I understand, it's in the works, and they want to have it done, I think, between 2030 and 2050. So, things are changing. There is a lot of really good information available on Twitter. If you follow me, then you can start to follow all of the truthers that I follow. And you could really start to tune yourself in. Because you're not going to find a lot of this on Facebook because they'll censor it. YouTube, you got to sit through a lot of, longer videos. Maybe it might get censored. Maybe it might get deboosted. I don't know. But Twitter, since Elon Musk did take over, things have gotten quite a bit better. The woman that he hired to be the president, nobody likes her. She has caused a little bit of problems, but not much. I would definitely advise opening up a Twitter account. After you open it up, find my link for Twitter and start following me. When you follow me, I'll see it in my notification and I'll follow you back. They also have direct messaging right there. And believe it or not, folks, I'm on Twitter more than I am on Facebook. Because Facebook is just boring and they censor everything. And if you post the wrong thing, they even fact check memes, for God's sakes. That just happened to me. They fact checked the meme and deboosted my account for 90 days. Ridiculous. But, you know, in a nutshell, folks, I think it might be a good idea for you guys to jump on Twitter and we could communicate together a lot easier. I could start to point you guys in the directions of the thousands of really good hardcore truthers that are on Twitter. And they hold nothing back. And it is a great source of information, news, weather, sports, I mean, whatever you want to get into. But it would also be a pretty good way for all of us to communicate, and I can keep you guys in tune with all of the people that I am following. Just a thought. I'm going to exit out of here. I'm going to jump into the Planet X News YouTube channel here real quick. Now, on the main page of my YouTube channel, if you follow along the menu right here, you'll see that community tab. Okay, and that's where I post things, and I post them, you know, a couple times, maybe a day, or at least like once a day. And this post here, this was in reference to me going to the doctors and you know, going for the CAT scan and the MRI, and we already talked about that. But let's go back here. Oops. Let me go here and then go back here. I posted the information about this possible hurricane or tropical storm Hillary. Oh God, what a name, Hillary. Instantly reminds you of Hillary Clinton. But folks, whenever you're viewing, if I put pictures up here, if you see that little arrow tab right here, that means there's more pictures than just the one you're looking at, and they have them in this square format. If you click on the picture, it does open it up. Oh, wait a minute. What happened here? Oh, these were supposed to open up completely. Oh, they don't do that anymore. Oh, does that suck? I didn't know that. I'm telling people to click on the picture and open it up. Can't do it no more. They must have took that away. Because before you used to be able to click on the picture and it would open it fully, you know, into like the 16:9 format. Oh man. Take everything away. You could also comment, you know, and I do try to answer and engage with everybody as much as I possibly can. But yeah, I post a lot of stuff here, and it's quick. It's easy for you guys to jump in, read the information, and so on and so forth. And I wanted to thank all of you, for those donations and for helping out. It has become a tremendous help. It has also relieved my stress level. I've been stressed out, over this whole situation. And I don't know what else to say, folks. There is still a lot of truth out there to uncover. I have a lot of work to do. Under the circumstances, staring at a computer screen, it tends to bother my right eye, and then it tends to water really, really bad, like it's doing right now. And then I get those shooting pains in the side of my head. Throughout this broadcast, luckily, I haven't had one so far, but I don't know. For me right now, it is a day by day. I'm going to wait for these results for the radiology to read the results, send the report to my doctor, and her relay them back to me. And after that comes back, regardless of what the results are, I'm going to let all of you know. I'm hoping for the best, that there's nothing wrong. However, my experience in that MRI, yeah, that was weird. Very, 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 very weird. Let me click on this real quick. One more thing before I go, folks. You want to pan down on that community page. I put all that information about that Air Force Maui optical laser directed energy telescope. I did a post about that. It's all on the community tab with some extra pictures. I also added some shirts to the Amazon store. When I had the Teespring account, all the shirts that everybody liked, I brought back, and I have them up on the Amazon store. Some people didn't like this shirt of the Punisher skull. It was a great shirt. Planet X Disclosure. Everybody liked this shirt. I had a poster of it. People requested the shirt a lot of times, and people just liked it. But folks, different strokes for different folks. It's not evil. And when I created this shirt, the logo, which is called the Punisher skull, I felt that hey, the Planet X theory was forecasted to punish the Earth. So that was my reasoning behind it. A lot of people asked about it. One of the big top sellers with the shirts was the Chemtrail Death from Above shirt. Everybody loved this shirt. For years it was like the best seller. Everybody was buying it. They were sporting it everywhere they were going. And excuse me, what this shirt did, and as I mentioned years ago on another broadcast, is when people see you wearing it, they ask you about it, because maybe they never heard about it. And it opens up that conversation for you to enlighten someone else and point their eye to the sky. You become the educator. You become the person that is delivering the truth. Because you know about it. You have that knowledge. So that shirt is back in the Amazon store. Everybody loved this conspiracy realist with the theorist crossed out. I have this shirt. I wear it quite a bit. I mean, I've had it for several years. I don't know. It's gone through, who knows, probably about 200 washings. The logo's starting to fade a little bit. When I do have the extra money, I'm going to go ahead and order me another one, and I'm going to order me another the chemtrail shirt, because when I used to wear that shirt around, everybody used to ask me about it. I'd wear it in Walmart and the grocery store. People would stop me. Some people knew what it was, and some people would just ask me about it. Real quick, this was a post about this this governor in Hawaii, this Josh Green. He said global warming caused the conditions of the deadly wildfires. So they're already pushing that agenda, folks. But, you know, I try to post some very, very good information here for you guys to look at quickly, because it's a little hard for me right now to do the videos. My speech is messed up. I sound like an idiot, you know, and it's a little painful for my eye to stare at the computer screen. It starts to hurt. It starts to dry out. Got a bottle of the natural tears, but that just doesn't really work that well. And you know, I'm all jacked up. But you know, I'm still trying to stay in good spirits. And I do have to commend all of you have helped me stay in good spirits. You know, the emails and the messages of inspiration. A lot of you thanking me for what I do, but in truth, it's me thanking you for being there to help me. That's what it's all about. A very humbling situation, and I will never, ever forget it. Never. Thank you. From my heart. Each and every one of you that has helped out, each and every one of you that has subscribed to this channel, that has been there, that view the videos, that watch the information, you all have a very big piece of my heart, and I appreciate that. Anybody else, folks, that would like to help us out, it'd be greatly appreciated in this time of need. There is a new link right there, donations for Planet X News. You can click on that and it'll take you directly to our PayPal account. And folks, listen, some of you said that, you know, you're very worried about using PayPal, or you had a bad experience of some nature. Folks, I've been using PayPal since 2016. I have never ever had any problems whatsoever, and to be honest with you, PayPal to me is more secure than your own damn bank online. That much is for sure. Never had a problem with it, and that's all that I have right now, you know. So if you don't want to use PayPal, hey, you know, leave me a nice comment, send me a message, say a prayer for me right now, because I could use a ton of those. Doesn't always have to be about, you know, this or that, but I appreciate it. Really do. So I'm going to jump off of here right now, folks, and I'm going to try to stick some of these eye drops in my eye because it feels like it's bone dry. And as soon as I get these results back from the doctor, I'll jump on here and I'll fill you folks in. So in the time being, stay safe, stay tuned, and keep an eye in the sky. This is Scott from Planet X News, thanking all of you very, very much. Over and out.